of the week. Go with Jared Goff. Now, I know the Lions did not have a great week against the Baltimore Ravens, but they are due for a bounce back. They come back home to Ford Field. They're going to be rested coming into this Monday night matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders defense is a defense that I cannot trust, especially in fantasy football. As you see there, Jared Goff, it was some garbage time yardage, 284 yards, had no touchdowns, only 10 points for your fantasy teams. I think coming back home, I think that the way that Amon-Ra St. Brown, that connection, and then Jahmyr Gibbs, he looked pretty good as well. So I think that Jared Goff in this Lions offense, I just don't think that they're going to have two back-to-back dud of a weekends. I think that they bounce back with a huge victory against the Raiders. So you are starting Jared Goff this week against a not so great of a Raiders defense. Let's go on now to the running back start of the week. I'm not going to lie, I missed on my running back start of the week with Josh Jacobs. He did not really get the output that we were hoping for, but this guy is Isaiah Pacheco going up against the Denver Broncos, and we are going up against these defenses that are not so very good. I know that the Broncos held the Green Bay Packers to 16 points, but this is not the Green Bay Packers offense. Isaiah Pacheco coming off of a game where he had a receiving touchdown, would not be surprised if he does it again. I think that he's going to have a great game on the rushing. Denver Broncos are the worst team in the NFL in the rushing department, so I think that Isaiah Pacheco is going to get fed early and often. If you're an Isaiah Pacheco fantasy owner, this is the matchup that you are salivating all over, especially with a team like the Denver Broncos coming off of a win. But I think that the Chiefs, the way that their offense has been rolling, got to roll with Pacheco this week against the Broncos. Okay, let's go on now to the pass catcher start of the week. I know this is a tough defensive matchup for this guy, but he's coming off of the bye week, and he's also healthy. Jamar Chase.
Always open.
Yeah, he's always going to be open. I think that, the Bengals are going to have a rough time on the rush. Joe Mixon is probably, not a really start of the week. So I think if the Bengals are going to want to win this matchup and cover that 5-point spread, I think that Jamar Chase is going to have to get active. We saw in the past couple of weeks, Joe Burrow is starting to get healthier and healthier, and Jamar Chase is definitely feeding off of that energy. So I think that Jamar Chase, you drafted him in the top 2 picks of the draft. You really have to trust him going forward. I know it's a tough defense, but I think that the secondary of the 49ers isn't as good as their defensive line. So you got to trust Jamar Chase against the San Francisco 49ers. I think that he's going to score a touchdown and have himself a day coming off of the bye week, fully healthy and ready to go against San Fran. So let's go on now to the sits. First off with the quarterback sit of the week, and it is Matthew Stafford. A defense I don't really trust going up against is the Dallas Cowboys, especially coming off of the bye week. That was a defense that they've been dealing with a lot of injuries, so they really needed that. Matthew Stafford and the offense struggled against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I think the struggles are going to continue. He got a touchdown threw one to Puka Nacua this past week. Cooper Kupp back and healthy. So this offense does have some potential. So that's definitely some worrisome. But I'm going to trust the Dallas Cowboys to get the job done. So Matthew Stafford, if you have anyone else on your bench, I think that Matthew Stafford is the sit of a week going up against a tough Cowboys defense. It's going to get after. That's the team that's going to be pissed off. They haven't been playing too good as of late. They've been humbled lately. So I think that the Cowboys bounce back against Matthew Stafford. Well, I hate to keep this streak up, but Jacobs running back is once again on the sit of the week. Sorry to do this to you, but Miles Sanders is my running back sit of the week. He's been hurt. I know that they are coming off of the bye week, so he's probably going to be expected to play in this one, but I just can't really trust Miles Sanders yet. He's been up and down and up and down. And going up against the Texas defense that's going to be fresh, also coming off of the bye week. These are two teams coming off. They're going to be having fresh legs. The Texans defense has been one of the most improved defensive units. They have talent on all 3 levels. So staying away from pretty much anybody on this Carolina offense until they improve. So Miles Sanders, with the injury and also going up against a tough defensive front, you're sitting Miles Sanders this week. So go on now to the wide receiver sit of the week is going to be Rashid Shaheed. Now, really the main factor is you really got to rely on a big play. And, some weeks you can. Last week, he didn't. Only 4 receptions and 28 yards. He is going up against the Indianapolis Colts defense. I know that they just gave up 39 points to pretty much a backup quarterback with P.J. Walker. But, you just don't know who's going to have that big game for the Saints. Is it going to be Michael Thomas? Is it going to be Olave? Is it going to be Rashid Shaheed? If you really look at the Saints offense, though, it's been the Alvin Kamara show. So I think that's really the only Saints player you can trust right now. Derek Carr's been looking to him early and often. So I think that the Colts secondary, they're tough. This is a tough matchup for me. So stay away from Rashid Shaheed this week going up against the Colts defense. So that's the starts in the sits heading into week number 8.